What if the most terrifying killer didn't look like a monster at all, but like the guy next door? Ted Bundy was good-looking, charming, and smart, the kind of person you'd never suspect of doing something horrific. But behind that friendly smile was a darkness most people couldn't even imagine. Today, we're getting into the real story behind extremely wicked, shockingly evil, and vile. Not just the movie version, but who Ted Bundy really was, how he fooled everyone around him, and why people were still drawn to him. Because sometimes, the most dangerous monsters wear a friendly face. Who was Ted Bundy? Ted Bundy, the name that still sends chills decades later. He wasn't born a monster, at least not in the beginning. Theodore Robert Bundy came into the world on November 24, 1946, in Burlington, Vermont. But the real nightmare started in 1974, Seattle, Washington, when he began hunting women. Over the next 4 years, Bundy murdered at least 30 women, maybe more. Some people, including investigators, believe the real number could have been closer to 100. Nobody knows for sure. What made him so terrifying wasn't just what he did. It was how he did it. Bundy wasn't the type to break into homes or attack people in alleys. He was clever. He'd pretend to be injured, wearing a fake cast or sling, and ask women for help loading something into his tan Volkswagen Beetle. He looked harmless, polite, even charming. Then, when they leaned in, he'd knock them out, handcuff them, and drive off to some isolated area. That's where the real nightmare began. The scariest part? He'd come back to the crime scenes, again and again. Bundy wasn't just killing, he was obsessed with control, with owning his victims completely. He crossed lines that are hard to even talk about. Bundy hunted across several states: Washington, Oregon, Utah, Colorado, and finally Florida. He targeted college students, nurses, and anyone who fit his type. His most infamous attack happened at Florida State University's Chi Omega sorority house, where he broke in and brutally murdered 2 young women. He also kidnapped and killed a 12-year-old girl named Kimberly Leach. How he became famous. Ted Bundy didn't become a household name just because he was a killer. He became famous because he didn't look like one. He was smart, well-spoken, and attractive. He studied law, dressed well, and knew how to make people like him. That made him fascinating and dangerous. When Bundy finally went to trial in 1979, it became the first televised murder trial in American history. Imagine it. Millions of people watching from home as this clean-cut guy defended himself in court. He smiled at cameras, argued with the judge, and even charmed reporters. The media couldn't get enough of him. They called him intelligent, complex, even charismatic. And people fell for it. Women sent him letters, love notes, and photos. Some even showed up to watch his trial in person. One of them, Carol Ann Boone, married him right there in the courtroom. And yes, they somehow had a child while he was in prison. It was like the world forgot who he really was. Bundy didn't just manipulate his victims, he manipulated society. He made everyone question what evil actually looks like. That's what scared people the most. The film connection. In 2019, Netflix released a movie about Bundy called Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil and Vile, starring Zac Efron as Bundy and Lily Collins as his girlfriend, Elizabeth Klopfer. The title came from the judge's words at Bundy's sentencing. What made the movie different was its point of view. It wasn't told through Bundy's eyes, it was told through Elizabeth's. The woman who loved him, lived with him, and slowly realized who he really was. At first, she believed his innocence completely. But as more evidence surfaced, the sketches, the Volkswagen, the police reports. Her world fell apart. Efron's performance was haunting. He captured Bundy's charm perfectly. The way he could make people trust him instantly. The movie also shows a dramatic prison confession scene between Bundy and Liz. That never happened. Their last conversation was actually over the phone. It wasn't emotional or cinematic. It was quiet and unsettling. The director admitted he changed things to make viewers experience the same slow realization Liz did. It made for a good story, but not a completely true one. And while the movie avoids showing the brutal violence, which some people didn't like, it focuses more on how Bundy deceived everyone around him. Because that was his true power. The legacy of Bundy wasn't just another killer. His case changed how America viewed crime, justice, and even evil itself. First, the term serial killer. That word basically became mainstream because of Bundy. Before him, there wasn't really a name for people who killed multiple victims in a pattern. He became the blueprint for how investigators studied and profiled killers. Second, his trial changed television. It showed that people would watch real courtroom drama, paving the way for today's true crime obsession. Every podcast, documentary, and docuseries about murder owes something to the Bundy phenomenon. Bundy also forced people to realize that killers don't always look like monsters. They can be charming, articulate, and completely ordinary. That realization terrified America more than anything else. He exposed huge flaws in how dangerous criminals were handled. Finally, his case revolutionized criminal psychology. Investigators learned to think like predators, to analyze patterns, behavior, and motive. Bundy's interviews with the FBI helped create the foundation of modern criminal profiling. His methods, his psychology, his manipulation, all of it became lessons for law enforcement. Ted Bundy wanted fame, and he got it. Not for brilliance, not for success, but because he showed us something terrifying, that evil can hide behind the most ordinary smile. So, what do you think? Was Ted Bundy truly a genius manipulator, or just pure evil hiding behind a fake smile? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching.